paperwork. Could it be possible that she delayed this process on purpose?
You know what though? So crazy. The amount of projection Jasmine was doing in this episode was freaking crazy. She projected herself when Angela said my visa. She was like, oh my god, I feel like that's Gino to me. Then in this situation, do you think that Ashley delayed Manuel's process on purpose to control him? Again, reflection of her and what she said about Gino. I think it was like in part 1 or part 2 of the tell-all. But anyway, either way though, is the question valid? It could be. But at the same time though, again, I personally don't really blame Ashley for delaying it or taking her time, to be honest with you. Not because she's got a busy life, but more because she deep down knows that she messed up by marrying this man without knowing everything that she needed to know. She knows that she should have really met his kids before even marrying him and then sending money to them. Do you see what I'm saying? So I mean, I blame her for not making the right choices, but I don't blame her for now having that little gut feeling, thinking, And also at the same time, Manuel was a lazy mofo. But anyway, let's continue.
And Manuel has texted me privately, my social media. And he always asked me to delete the conversation. He said, I'm going to delete the conversation, and I want you to delete it as well. Please, Jasmine.
That is wild, to be honest with you. But Jasmine claims the reason why he wanted to do that is because, well, Ashley is allegedly controlling him, which I still find very hard to believe personally. I only say that because he's always playing victim card all the time. When things aren't going well, he starts crying.
He told me in the text that I am being controlled.
Wait, he texted that to you?
Yeah.
Mucho para ti, mucho. Pero no, del amor voy a vivir sin trabajo, sin poder ayudar a mis hijos.
Honestly, like the way this guy, okay, let's just go back to what he says here, right? First and foremost, let's process this, okay? So we got a conversation here where he, Manuel's saying, but I'm not going to live off love, okay? Without work, without being able to help you, unable to help my kids. Personally, do I think he's going to work to help Ashley? No, chance. Help his kids? Yeah, of course, because his whole life is about his kids, which is respectful, you know what I mean? But it's interesting because his love for Ashley and his want for Ashley isn't even based on the love. It's based on more or less what she can provide for him. Do you see what I'm saying? You know, unless you can provide these papers so I can work, I don't know if this love is good enough. Now, listen, we can flip it. We could say that maybe he feels betrayed by her for taking so long. So therefore, he's saying that, hey, don't think my love is going to keep me around. That could be what he could be saying. But I don't think that's what he's saying. I generally do believe that he's saying it the way it is coming across. Unless I'm working or whatnot, and you help me in this way, we ain't nothing. That is more or less that way if you ask me personally. Because he's not in touch with his emotions enough to think the other way, in my opinion.
I'm asking you a blatant question. Does your marriage to me depend on whether or not you can get work?
No lo sé.
And the fact that he says I don't know says it all. And this is not the first time he's been asked questions around his loyalty and his commitment to this marriage. And each time he's asked that question, he always says, I don't know. That says it all.
Ese dinero que a él me ayudó con $200 solamente alcanza para mis hijos.
All right, let's talk about that too. Make that make sense. Honestly, one of the most ungrateful statements I've ever seen, like 90 Day. One of the most. The money Ashley helps me with is barely enough for my kids. Bro, the fact that she's giving you money is more than enough. Like, is this guy actually that so stuck up like that in his own feelings? Because think about it, right? Ashley has to work here not only to pay for the bills, to pay for the food, okay, to also pay for her gym memberships and whatever else she needs to obviously get her whole life together. And then also on top of that, she probably had to pay for the wedding, you know what I mean? And on top of that, also having to pay for his family. Also on top of that, paying for like transport for how they commute within America, within whichever location that they live in. Like, she's got a lot of expenses that she's having to pay for. You know what I mean? She's paying for 2 people, 2 grown adults, and kids she doesn't even know. And this guy's saying, "Oh, but what she's giving me is barely enough." Be grateful. And then on top of that, he's like, "Oh, you know, and also so and so is in debt, and but Ashley doesn't know this." So what's that got to do with her? Look at him, always sitting there feeling sorry for himself. Listen, Ashley ain't perfect. This woman has made too many flaws. But this guy right here...
mensualmente tengo que pagarle. De mis hijos son casi $200. Estoy al día porque mi hermana se hizo un crédito. Tú piensas con darme un techo, con darme comida, ya Manuel está feliz.
Let's let that sink in. Let's let that sink in. Man sits there, right? And he says, because you think by providing a roof, giving me food, Manuel is happy. Listen, I've never been to Ecuador in my life. I know very little about it. I only know what I've seen on TV, and I know for TV they always show us the worst parts rather than the best part, because TV does that. And the reality is that every country has good parts and bad parts, right? But here's the thing though, there are many people in Ecuador, there's many people in other places in this world, right, who don't have a roof on the table, or who don't have a roof to stay underneath, okay, a warm roof for that matter, okay, and don't have food, or at least fresh food. You know what I mean? And they would kill to be in a position that he's in right here, right now. Right here, right now. And he wants to say, bro, and at the end of the day, right, it's not even about the food making him happy or the roof making him happy. It's about appreciation. It's about being grateful. It's about understanding that, hey, you could be in situations that are far worse than what you're in now. And for somebody that loves to complain about how much she spends and how bad she is on money and all this kind of stuff, you would think that he'd have a bit more gratitude, if you know what I mean. Like, he's acting as if he's come from some sort of luxury life where he's always had all these things and he's always been like a king or something like that. When his description of his own life is said nothing, it said everything below that. So I don't know why he's not grateful at this point. This guy, he's not even a guy. What is he? No masculine energy whatsoever.
Ya Manuel está feliz.
No, no estoy
es eso, no es eso.
comida.
Y Manuel, tienes que llenar tus papeles. Toma, yo imprimí y llenarlo. Hazlo eso. Nunca. Nunca.
But you know what? Ashley did this to herself. I feel like she purposely was trying to find a man that could be a bit submissive and she could control. And she found him, but she just didn't check. But she just didn't do a full background check on him. But either way, though, now they're talking about the papers, arguing about the papers. Why did it take it so long? He's saying that I printed plenty. She's saying no, you didn't. She's saying that I did. Back and forth, back and forth. Oh my goodness gracious me! Where is the sensible person in this conversation? The fact is though, Ashley needs a man that is masculine to the point that he can tell her when she's being too much. You know what I mean? Not a man that is Manuel basically, but I generally feel like she was trying to look for a man who she can control to a certain degree. She can have a certain hold of him to a certain degree, you know what I mean? But it's obviously backfiring because she's ended up with a complete baby, respectfully. But either way though, she's definitely somebody that needs to be with a man that can definitely put his foot down and let her know that, hey, you need to calm yourself down real quick. You're doing too much. And also on top of that, most importantly, she also needs a man that knows how to take charge. And when I say that, what I mean is in this situation right here, regarding the papers, Manuel could have been like, you know what? You're working, you're busy, you're doing these things. So you know what? I'm gonna take charge. I'm gonna go find these papers, and then I'm gonna start filling them out. If I get it wrong, it's all good. I'm gonna start learning how to do it, because to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure there's so many things online that you can find that can help you learn how to obviously, fill out certain papers. But instead of doing that, he's out here counting coins. He's counting coins. Rather than learn English, figure out this paper situation, he's counting coins. Because it's a South American thing. This isn't one of those times where one of your things, it should be a thing.
Prioridades para ti.
Ella se preocupa por mí, que no me falte la comida, que esté bien de salud. Pero ella nunca dice, oye, ¿has hablado con tus hijos ahora? ¿Por qué no has escuchado?
Alright, so here's the thing. Why? This is so easy to break down, to be honest with you. This guy starts off with saying she worries about me, that I have enough food, my health is good. How many men in the world wish right now they were the woman that worries about those things? He's complaining about having these things. She's worried about all the good things. All right, cool. And then he goes on to say, but she never asked. Oh, but there's always a but. She's doing all the things that many men want a woman to do for them. You're not grateful for that. But then you continue by, she never asked, hey, have you heard from your kids lately? What, the kids that you won't even let her even meet? The kids that took you what, over how many years for her to even have a conversation with, or even to even breathe a word to? The kids that she's paying for? You think Ashley's got time, the mental capacity to be thinking about all these things when she's got a whole lot of other things going on to make sure that the house that you live in is good, it's warm, and you can eat? I don't know how anyone can defend this man's actions. Honestly, it's not possible. It is not possible. It doesn't matter how much of a tool Ashley is. It doesn't matter how dopey she is. It doesn't matter how many poor choices that she makes and how much, to be fair, this situation that she's in is basically her fault because she should have done better. It doesn't change the fact that this guy right here, he's a fool. I haven't heard anything about your kids. Yeah, that's because before, whenever she would try, he would shut her down. He would avoid the conversation. But then here's the thing, the response from Jasmine here. But she helps you with child support, which she does. Has she ever sat there and said, no, I'm not going to pay you today so you can go and pay your kids? She may not ask about your kids because she's probably busy, but she's still giving you money for the kids, right? Which means she cares. But here's the thing though, personally, if I haven't met your kids, I am less likely inclined to want to remember to ask about your kids because I haven't met them. I don't have a connection, so therefore they're not really on my mind like that. But Ashley says that, to be fair, the kids are on her mind more than he thinks. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. But the fact that she keeps paying is more than enough. Way more than enough. Her paying him child support for his kids is better. It's better than her asking him, hey, so how are the kids if you ask your person? That's more powerful.
Te ayuda con la manutención, ¿por qué dices que no les interesa?
Unos $100 cada semana, pero le estoy ayudando a mis hijos.
Now he's crying. The antics. I might even earn $100 a week. Okay. But at least I'm helping my kids. Jesus Christ. Bro, your kids have been helped right now, bro. But okay, whatever. Innit? But what am I doing here? What do you mean? Yeah, that's a good question. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? But crying, complaining, being ungrateful?
Aquí, ¿qué hago? Sí, no me entiende. Y sigue con su... Estoy bien en Ecuador. Estoy feliz. Se va la Fácil.
Bro, go back to Ecuador, man. It's for the best. You go back to Ecuador is nothing but the best. Go back. You've been saying it since the first season. We saw you. Ecuador, I'll go back. But yet you're still here. All words, no actions. You always don't mean a single thing. Nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts on the matter itself in particular. At the end of the day, this guy needs to grow a freaking backbone. He's a big baby, you know, he's a big overgrown baby, not even a toddler, just a complete crybaby, you know what I mean? Honestly, enough is enough. As a man, I don't respect this man at all, to be honest, if you see what I'm saying. But at the same time, though, Ashley needs to check herself because she put herself in this position, and she could have avoided this. Though all the signs were there, but she ignored them. Her family told her, her friends had told her, and she ignored them. Not necessarily about this part here that he's moaning about, but they definitely mentioned about the fact that he was secretive, he hadn't allowed you to meet his kids, and so on and so on and so on. But you still wanted to marry him, and therefore you're now having to deal with this. So therefore, I don't feel sorry for you. But either way, though, I still don't like this guy. I still don't respect this guy. Sorry, I still don't respect him. Nonetheless, though, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.